Perseus keeps getting these gifts. First, he gets like this magic sword, this magic lightsaber.
Never established how he turned that thing on or off either. But
It just when you hold it, I guess. He keeps getting these gifts and he gets coins and stuff. He's like, I don't want to use these. I don't want to be like the gods. And everyone is kind of pissed at him. Like, dude, you got all this magic shit. And I'd be like, wait, are we on like a mission to kill the gods or something like that? Should we? I don't think if we're against the gods, I don't think I want to be taking the gods' gifts. They're probably booby traps.
Right. And yet and also of course Zeus is playing against himself the entire time. He's like, he really is just maybe Olympus does need new management. I don't know.
Okay.
Hades, but just one thing about that. Oh, I lost it. Go on.
Well, okay. So the basic premise, in case we haven't established it well enough, is that there's this group of people. They're on a deadline because in 10 days there'll be an eclipse, and they either need to sacrifice a princess, whom we don't really establish that much of.
She's very nice.
She's very nice. She's very pretty, they need to sacrifice her, or Hades will summon the Kraken, basically the first kaiju monster.
Yeah, and it looks kind of like a cross between Gamera and a giant squid.
Yes, comic squid. It's kind of cool, actually. I mean, if it wasn't just part of the CGI scenery, it would have been kind of cool. Speaking of, this is really middling, kind of to bad CGI. The whole thing kind of looks like a cartoon.
Yeah, you don't really get the impression that they're there, really.
Mm-hmm.
That's
so these group of soldiers decide, let's go see the 3 witches, see if there's any way we can kill the Kraken, and then maybe we can kill Hades or something. So they all kind of gather a party, and there's one weird scene where this guy where Perseus just kind of ruffles through like a I don't know what you call it, like a junk drawer, and just pulls out a random robot owl.
It's like
it doesn't have anything to do with the rest of the film.
It looked so out of place. I couldn't believe it because it looked like a plastic prop that someone put together and put it in the film.
It looks
as
like
a blue, like it would have been. There was supposed to be a sword here. Which one of you jokers put a robot out here? No, it wasn't. It was so out of place, and just decided to do that.
It looked like
it was Bubo.
It looked like they took him from. It looked like they took him straight from the original Clash of the Titans movie.
And just inserted him in. It was like, that is the most awkward thing I have ever seen as a callback. And I watched the entire Star Wars prequel trilogy.
It's like, hey, you remember the original Clash of the Titans?
He literally holds it up in front of the camera and waves it.
See, we watched the movie too. You can't accuse us of not watching the movie before we made the remake.
Another thing with the scorpions and another cliche. I don't know how you get swallowed by a giant scorpion because they have mandibles that tear things apart. But somehow, in the confusion, Perseus gets swallowed by a giant scorpion and rips his way out dramatically.
We don't know how. We didn't even know. It was so awkward because we didn't even know he'd gotten swallowed.
I didn't think eating them was even a priority with these guys. They were just tearing them apart.
Yeah, they were just killing them, and it was weird because Perseus is kind of against the wall that he could easily go away from, and the scorpions charge him. It's not like he's cornered.
I'm thinking the only way he could have gotten even into his mouth is if he dove towards it and straightened himself out, because that's the only way you can get into that kind of mouth.
So
when they ripped it, and that you could think it was ripped off perhaps from the Hercules Disney cartoon. Just saying.
Mm-hmm. And there's one other scene that just killed me in that scorpion fight. Was they're all just kind of trying to figure out how to kill. They're all kind of darting around the scorpions and all that stuff, and the scorpion. They're like trying to push the scorpion off a cliff, I guess. And just one guy, I don't know who it was, comes running up and basically just kind of jumps at the scorpion, and it gives him a hug against
It doesn't look like an attack. It looks.
It looked like, yay! It just kind of bear hugs the tail. It's like it comes out of nowhere. It's like,
I mean, and I think he was already going. I think we were supposed to think like, oh, we pushed him off the cliff.
like he's trying to push him off.
But he was falling off the cliff before it happened. I don't know whose fault that was.
It was just. It really looked like I love you.
Now, you guys, those of you, if you haven't watched it, you don't know what we're talking about. I recommend, personally, going out and watching it with a friend.
Yes.
With a good sense of humor. Not a good movie.
No. The scorpions are kind of these pets of these tree people.
Oh, yes.
These immortals.
And we call them the Immortals because they look like the Immortals from 300.
Yeah.
I don't. Oh, were they technically immortal, or were they just long-lived because they?
They said they were long-lived, and they didn't respond to Medusa's stare.
Right.
So-
and they have a self-destruct.
Yeah, they have a.
Everything explodes.
Everything explodes. The ents, the immortal ent creatures explode. Medusa explodes.
Basically, anything that could reasonably explode because of a doubt did. People didn't explode under normal circumstances, but that's only because it would have looked a bit weird.
Mm-hmm. So they meet the witch people. I tell them to go get the Medusa head. So they go to the river Styx, and they get on the ferryman's boat with a coin, and they're just kind of talking, and just the hot chick, the immortal hot chick, kind of just goes down to the bowels of the ship, and then Perseus follows, and they have this Medusa training montage.
Intense. It's a sexy Medusa training.
Yes, because it's like he goes down there. I don't think he knows what's going on, and then he strikes. She strikes like, aha, the Medusa. And then they keep doing like, I killed you twice, and I'm thinking like, no, I didn't know you were doing it the first time. You didn't kill. I'm only counting one.
And she only does it with him. She only trains him how to.
They're sending 5 guys in to take care of the Medusa, and she only trains Perseus to deal with it.
We're kind of thinking like they're up there, in a line, like, ooh, sexy training. Oh, and I should mention, like, Charon, he's the boat. He is the boat, as far as I can tell. He seems to be like attached directly to the stern. Or to whatever the hell you call it.
I didn't notice that, but
I think he did. I don't think he had feet. That's the other thing. You can never tell. You don't. They don't establish any of these characters in any way, even physically sometimes.
No, I mean.
And so I was just like, ew, can he like feel them roughhousing down there? That's creepy.
I'm not sure. And the whole thing was also kind of supposed to be a misdirection because Perseus really wanted to steal another one of the ferryman's coins in order to pay the ferryman to take him back, but that was really poorly established.
If it was,
I'm still not sure if that's exactly what happened, and B, that's not how he gets back anyway. So
well, and that was the thing. I'm pretty sure that wasn't why he was there, though. That's what I would have done if I was down there. I think, because the hint, if there was a hint, was the guy. After they land, says, "So where's the other coin?" or something to that effect, because he gets a coin from Zeus.
He said, "How many coins did you steal?"
Oh, did he say that?
That's what he said.
That might be right.
How many coins did you steal? Just one.
Yeah, well, that was nice of him.
Or how
because
many
he's
coins?
the only one who walks out and actually can go. He's the only one who survives.
Actually, I think he may said, "How many coins do you have?" And he's like, "Just one," as in just the one.
I see.
But without the...
And this is what we're talking about.
Yeah.
It's like, what is going on in this film? A film this stupid shouldn't be this hard to follow.
It is. I know. This is amazing. Medusa... It's kind of weird, because they made Medusa sexy, and she wasn't sexy in the original, but conversely, the Medusa in the original was topless, and this one isn't. I don't know.
And you know, it was very well established in this one that she was supposed to have been turned so ugly that her look can turn people to stone.
And you know what? Maybe by some white bread, sexually white bread people, maybe she is ugly now because she's part snake and with hair and all stuff. But I've been on the internet, people.
Exactly.
I've been on the internet, people. I know there are thousands of people who are masturbating to it right now. I mean,
Even I'm flexible enough.
Exactly. I mean, I know there are tens of thousands of 4chaners who just thought she was the hottest thing on wheels. I mean,
So I mean, see, and that's that. They wanted to do a couple of intelligent things, but they weren't intelligent enough to do it. They were unwilling to even compromise on. It's like, oh wait, we have the chance to have a sexy villainous character, and so they couldn't just make her ugly.
yeah, they couldn't. And the whole Medusa scene was just kind of weird and convoluted.
Yeah. As a chase, it was kind of cool to watch, but of course, at no point did it seem like anything but a guy running around dodging CGI blue sticks.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Like they send 5 guys after them, and like. You know, there's all this talk, don't look into her eyes, avert your eyes, close your eyes. I'm like, nobody ever does that. I mean,
it's like they're really curious.
like the first time Medusa freezes someone in stone, this guy has like 8 seconds in order to turn his head or close his eyes.
She rises up. She sees the snakes before, or he sees the snakes before he sees the eyes.
The face. I mean, this guy has like 5 to 8 seconds, and then. The Immortal explodes, and then she explodes, and then the whole movie explodes, and then there's this whole, I don't know how to, the whole Perseus's fake dad, his third dad, the guy who was married to Perseus's mom thing, but now he's like a devil
thing.
Or with like radioactive spit and
whose blood turns to scorpions, maybe
or summons them or unburies them, or except he's not really in control of scorpions because the tree people are. I mean,
yeah, the tree people are able to tame the scorpions that came from the blood of a guy who was given power by Hades. Maybe it's
but by the time they
sorry,
by the time they get to the Medusa head, the eclipse is already starting.
Yeah.
So Perseus is like, and the ferryman's really slow. So Perseus is like, how the fuck am I gonna get back in time? And then the TriStar logo flies down from the sky.
I was like, okay, so as soon as this monologue from the dying girl ends, the Pegasus will come down.
Yes.
And Greg says, "You better not be right."
And then the Pegasus comes down, and I'm like, "Fuck you, Victor."
I had to accept that.
Yes.
It's like,
and the thing they established the Pegasus before, and they're all like, no man has ever ridden a Pegasus. And then the Pegasus shows up, and apparently the reason no man has ever ridden a Pegasus is because nobody wanted to, nobody tried, because it was pretty damn easy.
Maybe it was an order from
Which just makes this whole thing feel like, the giant eagles from Lord of the Rings. They could just have hopped on and flown directly to Medusa's lair.